Hello and a warm welcome to the TCS IT Wiz, a knowledge initiative started by Tata Consultancy Services in 1999. It is the biggest inter-school IT quiz in India for students from class 8 to 12. The quiz aims to build awareness and emphasize the importance of IT skills and enable students to look at technology from an innovative perspective. TCS IT Wiz has brought a paradigm shift in the world of quizzing. The quiz works as an alternative learning tool for students in an outside classroom environment. TCS IT Wiz this year is being held digitally across India to allow students to quiz from the comfort and safety of their homes. Hosting this quiz, as always, is a prolific quizmaster with an experience of over 2,500 quiz shows to his credit, and having hosted his shows across 9 countries of the world, he sure is a master of the craft he pursues. He and his team have innovated to create the world's first integrated digital quizzing platform called Quizzital, which you are now witnessing. Friends, time to welcome on stage the one and only Big Brain.
Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Big Brain, here today as we unfold the quarterfinals of the nation's biggest inter-school quiz in the domain of information technology, TCS IT Wiz 2020. Started by Tata Consultancy Services 21 years ago, this quiz has become a huge revolution over the last 2 decades that we've been hosting this championship for schools. Thousands of students take part each year. That just became even bigger in a really difficult year that everyone has been encountering. Simply because they could take this quiz from the comfort and safety of their own homes. Supported ably, of course, by TCS's ION team, the nation went through an entire round of digital preliminaries, after which we came down to the top 128. We had them through a round of quizzing from which we have now shortlisted the nation's best 64 for this year. There's only one change in the format. For the first time at TCS IT Wiz, they will take part as individuals and not as teams. And that is purely because we want them to be safe in their respective homes. Having made those statements, nothing else has really changed in this quiz. The good thing is, it's brought in children from cities we had never imagined would take part. And that's the power of digital. We've had participants from Andaman and Nicobar. We've had participants from Nagaland, Lakshadweep, something we had never ever thought of when the quiz was in its physical format. But here today, as we unfold the quarterfinals, and you're going to be with me witnessing these quarterfinals over the next couple of days, today it's my privilege and pleasure to introduce to you 4 remarkable individuals from the Karnataka sector of this quiz. And they're going to battle out for 1 slot in the semi-final. So the winner from the 4 of them is going to be in the semi-final, which would be the top 16 of this nation. So here today at TCS IT Wiz 2020, we're kicking start with the Karnataka edition. Usually the city where we start is Bangalore. So perhaps in that sense, the physical and the digital is starting more or less in the same way. We either start at Bengaluru or we start at Hyderabad during the normal physical edition. But here today, let me begin by introducing our 4 finalists to you. Qualifying into our final as our first contestant here today is Sri Kabish, and he represents the AECS Magnolia Maruti Public School. Welcome to you, Sri Kabish. If we could just have you waving for our audience as they will know who you are. Lovely. And All of them, I think, except one of them, which I think is Pragun, and we'll come to Pragun, are all students of class 11. So Sri Kabish is in class 11 as well. As we get started with this introduction and move to our second contestant here today, which is Suchit Hegde, representing the National Public School from Bengaluru. Welcome to you, Suchit, as our second finalist. Moving across to the youngest of our four here today, not really very young compared to them, it's just a year spare of the three of them. He's in class 10, is Pragun from Sishu Griha. Welcome to you, Pragun. And completing our lineup here today is Akash Balcham. He is from the Sri Kumaran's Children's Home at Bangalore, also a student of class 11. Those then are our four finalists here today, as we are going to get started with multiple rounds of quizzing. The game is going to be played as follows. They've been told very clearly, and we've taken their word, and I think the word of the contestants is very important in today's environment. We've taken their word that they are alone in the room that they are in, where they are taking part in this quiz, and of course they get 30 seconds of time to take part for every question, or attempt every question. Plus 50 if they get it right, minus 50 if they get it wrong. In that 5 seconds of time, if they do not answer, we move on to the next question. So it's a very tight one. A round itself could be super fast in that every question lasts just 5 seconds. If we are good to go, we're starting with the first frontier of our game here today. Remember, it's plus 50, minus 50 in the first quarterfinal of this big national event. We start with testing these youngsters in a year like this on their digital readiness. Here it comes. The first frontier of our battle here today is called digital readiness, where we're going to test how well they know the digital world, especially in the modern era that they live in. So if all of you are ready, hands on your buzzers. In fact, you may want to hold it in your hand so it's easy for you to handle the buzzers. And we start with 5 seconds of time on every question. With the first one, there are 5 in the first 2 rounds. So first round will have 5 questions and the second will have 5. It does not matter to you because it's all on the buzzer. On digital readiness, with our 4 contestants, 1 will qualify. Question 1 on your screen. Here it comes. I think there is a world market for about 5 computers, is a famous statement this gentleman made. He is a great icon from the world of computers. Went on to create a famous company. Which giant are we talking about? Nobody on the buzzer on the first one. 5 seconds. Akash, just in the nick of time. Go ahead, Akash, if you can switch on your... Yes?
So is Gordon Moore the founder of Intel, I think?
Is a minus 50 to you. Going on that and taking a shot at it, he gets a minus 50. And this is Thomas Watson Jr., the man who was behind IBM. As we go to the second one, hands on the buzzer, question on your screen now. This is the famous architecture called the Mark architecture. It's named after which university? Pragun has gone for it. Yes, Pragun.
Okay. Okay. I didn't hear it.
Yes, it's called the Mark architecture. It's named after which university?
Harvard. Oh, I just buzzed.
The Harvard Mark architecture, plus 50 to you. Well, he's got that absolutely right. Harvard was where the Mark I as a computer was actually tested out, and therefore it's called the Harvard Mark architecture. Well, in such quizzes, when in doubt, always say Stanford or Harvard. 8 out of 10 times you will be right, especially when it comes to technology. So question number 3, hands on the buzzer, question on your screen. Who is seen here along with Dr. Kalam? A famous man in the IT world in India. He also headed the Discovery Channel for a period of time. A great man of science. He also headed India's NASSCOM. Akash is going for it. Yes, Akash?
Sir Sam Pitroda.
Oh, well tried. He was among those people in science. Minus 50 again to you. He's taking his chances. It's not paying off. He's Dr. Kiran Karnik. And, there was a point in time at Delhi where Dr. Karnik was actually the chief guest for TCS IT Wiz. So he's been a personal witness to this fantastic quiz. As has Dr. Kalam. He was part of our rural initiative of the TCS quizzes. As we go to the next one, question number 4 in the first frontier of our game, and here it comes. Known as the seafront towers, these are the headquarters of which Chinese giant? It's a huge investment entity, technically speaking, which owns a lot of the major Chinese companies that keep making noise. Suchit is giving it a shot from NPS Bangalore. Yeah, Suchit.
Tencent.
Very good answer. Tencent is absolutely right. He'll get himself his first 50. As we go to the final question, 2 of them on 50, 1 on minus 100. On to the final question here today in this round, the first one of the first quarterfinal. On your screens, here it comes. It's a RIP that was put up by a great person who basically released a rap single, and the username that he used was Emoji Records, and it died. Which great entrepreneur is behind Harambe? He's a great entrepreneur, great technology evangelist, an icon for the youth today. Which great personality was also behind this record label, so to say? None of them going for it. 5 seconds of time lapsing on that one. The answer that I was looking for, the one and only Elon Musk. Well, he actually dabbled with music and realized that it didn't work out well for him at all. Early days here today in the first frontier of TCS IT Wiz 2020. But at this moment in time, I need to take a very quick break. On the other side of the break, we'll tell you where the contestants stand and move on in this quiz. Stay with us.
The health of any nation can be checked by the health of its citizens. India's millions had no way to connect to what they needed most: quality healthcare. TCS provided just what the doctor ordered: a bridge. Not an ordinary bridge of steel and cement, a special bridge, built with the magic of technology, an online and real-time, secured on-the-cloud platform that acted as a bridge used not for vehicles but to save lives. This bridge was a transformative digital platform that connected those in need with the healthcare they needed. Over 120 million people have benefited from it. You might know this bridge as the Ayushman Bharat program, but at TCS, we have another name for it: the Bridge of Hope.
TCS, part of your story.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You're with me, Pig Brain, watching TCS IT Wiz 2020. The journey continues, the medium changes. It's an all digital quiz, and it's the biggest one that school children are taking part in this year from the comfort and safety of their homes. Early days here today, and we've got 2 of them, Suchit and Pragun, on 50, as it appears there on that scorecard on your screen. On minus 100 is Akash, while Sri Kabish, I'm sure, will get moving on that scorecard very, very quickly. As we progress in this quiz to the second frontier of our battle here today, it's time for us to move on what we call borderless learning. Here it comes. In a world where there is absolutely no border, given that the digital world is seamless, this generation of youngsters is going to learn with no borders. Well, just about everything is available to you equally. In a sense, learning has got democratized. Let's see how much they know in the span of width that's available for one to learn. As we pick action, the scoring pattern remains the same. 5 seconds is all the window you get to buzz. Starting with the first one, from a world without borders, identify this company from its old logo. Long distance telephony is what it was known. Sri Kabish has gone for it. Yes.
AT&T Bell Laboratories.
AT&T Bell on your screen. So Bell Laboratories. Excellent answer. Plus 50 to him. So he gets onto the scoreboard as well. As we move on to the next one. Hands on the buzzer as the question appears on your screen now. This is part of which giant in the world of modern entertainment? Red Envelope Entertainment. Pragun is giving it a shot. Yes, Pragun.
Netflix.
Netflix. Well, the red color indicates Netflix. You're confident on that?
I think so.
All right, you are thinking correctly. You get yourself another 50. Well played on that. Well, he moves to 100, and that is a Netflix company which essentially started off its own production entities. Question number 3 on screen now. This company is a manufacturing giant. They're mainly responsible for producing for which other technology giant? They are the technical back-end manufacturer for which iconic giant in the world? They are from Taiwan. Nobody on the buzzer. 5 seconds of time ticking. And the answer that I was looking for, as none of them go on the buzzer, is the Apple phones. Well, this is technically the company that works on the Apple products, not necessarily the phones, is Pegatron. 2 more to go in this frontier. Here's the next one coming on your screen now. These are all Pokemons. Which country's currency is this? With a lot of digital enablement as well. It's an island nation, very close to New Zealand, not very far from where the Indian cricket team is. Nobody on the buzzer. Tough ones coming. It's a quarter final, and it would be of that caliber. We're talking to the best 64 in the country. Let's remember that. The answer is a country called Niue, and it's an island country in the South Pacific geographically, very close to New Zealand. So tough one for our contestants as we go to the last one on your screens. Here it comes. How do we know this in India, though currently it's banned in India? In China, it's called Douyin. Sri Kabish is giving it a shot. Banned in India. This is how it's called in China.
TikTok,
Yes.
sir? Is it TikTok?
TikTok will give you a 50. Oh, well played on TikTok. He just about gets that 50 for himself. So Sri Kabish will move to 100. Pragun is on 100. Suchit is on 50. Akash will have to claw his way back, and he knows it's possible. As we move on to the next frontier of our battle here today, it's time to play what we call at TCS. Here it comes. On this round, I'm going to ask you 4 questions. I'm going to be reading out to you. So if you press the buzzer while I'm reading out the question, you can stop me. All questions are from the world of Tata Consultancy Services, and you get a plus 50 and a minus 50. 1 attempt, 5 seconds. But remember, if you press the buzzer, then you're indicating you know the answer. So I will stop reading the moment you press that buzzer. If we are ready with the first one on at TCS as we unfold TCS IT Wiz this year. Here we go. I was the first ever CEO of TCS. Sri Kabish in a flash. Go ahead.
FC Kohli, sir.
Well, in many ways a tribute to a great legend who has moved on in 2020. I could not have started with a more appropriate first question for the at TCS round. A tribute to Fakir Chand Kohli, 50 to Sri Kabish. As we go to the next one, hands on that buzzer. Here we go. I am a train that goes to Bangladesh from India. Akash.
Sir, Maitri Express.
And why would I ask that in a TCS round? Well, it's still good general knowledge. He's got the answer right. The employee engagement at TCS for all their employees is actually called Maitri, which is friendship. So I would have brought you to that in a longer question, but well answered, stopping me for a 50, and he needed that 50 to claw himself back, is Akash. As we go to the third one, hands on the buzzer. What is the name of the core banking solution from Tata Consultancy Services? It has been one of the biggest strengths of TCS over the many years. It's the name of the core banking solution. None of them going for it. And the answer that I was looking for is banks, spelled with a B. It's called TCS Banks, and that would have given you a 50 if you had got that right. Here's the final question in the at TCS round, and hands on the buzzer. Here we go. Established in 1887, now well past its 125 years, the Dash Athletic Association is a not-for-profit organization. They manage athletic events. TCS is one of its important partners. This is one of the world's oldest marathons that TCS associates with. Which city in the world would you be in if you were at the Dash Athletic Association's marathon? From the United States. Akash, I think, is taking a half chance. Yes, Akash, go on.
Sir, I didn't listen to the question fully.
Which city's marathon are we talking about in the United States?
So I'm going to have to guess New York.
Oh, not too far from New York, but minus 50 to you. The Boston Marathon. Well, it was world news a couple of years ago when some unfortunate incidents also happened, but then it has been the most revered among the top marathons of the world. 3 rounds done here today. It's time for us to take a look at where the teams stand or the contestants stand. But all of that on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
There's a race underway that is like no other race the world has seen. It is a race to find a cure for a pandemic, a vaccine that will save lives. The faster you find it, the more lives you save. The entire scientific and pharmaceutical world is chasing a cure, and TCS is right there with them. TCS Research and Innovation Division leveraged artificial intelligence to help identify 31 molecules that potentially hold the key to a drug design for the virus. TCS has co-innovated with the global pharmaceutical, life sciences and healthcare world. Be it in genomics, remote patient monitoring, medical device engineering or personalized 3D implants. In the fight against the pandemic, TCS is leading drug discovery, regulatory compliance and pharmacovigilance efforts. With technology helping medicine, the finish line to the cure cannot be far away.
TCS, part of your story.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Big Brain, watching the Karnataka final of TCS IT Wiz 2020. It's one of the regions which always produces very, very good contestants. There's no real specific region this year, but they all happen to be from Karnataka, and we do stack them up in that way as they progress in this national level championship. As we move to the next frontier and take a look at the scores before we get there, leading this quiz with 150 is young Shri Kabish, and he's from the AECS Magnolia School. In second position on 100 is Pragun from Sishu Griha. On 50 behind him is Suchit from National Public School. And gaining and losing is Akash Balcham from Kumarans. But I think that's the only way he will have to play to try and claw his way back into this quarterfinal. Remember, one of them will qualify as we are moving into the last 2 rounds, 4 questions apiece, as we pick action on what we call analytics and insights. Here it comes. On analytics and insights, I'm going to show you multiple names or multiple visuals on your screen. So you've got to analyze what you see and find an insight into it. 50, if you get it right, 5 seconds, the time doesn't change. Starting with the first one on your screen now. Which specific company acquired these? Carrierify, Glint, FlipTop. Later, this company which acquired them itself got acquired by Microsoft. Pragun is giving it a shot. Go ahead, Pragun.
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Oh, Carrier, FlipTop or Carrierify, FlipTop, Glint, all acquired by LinkedIn. LinkedIn later acquired by Microsoft. Well played for a 50. Good one, young man. Good answer. Quality one at that, and that takes him to 150 as well. So 2 people loggerheads as we go in towards the business end of a quiz, as one would call it. And the next one comes up on your screen now. Piggy Bank is part of a website which is called the Red Brigade in the food business, clearly with an internet connection. Piggy Bank, food business, the Red Brigade. Connect all of them to some service that you would find on the internet. Suchit is giving a go on this one. Go ahead, Suchit.
Is it Zomato?
Well played. Oh, very well played. These are people who've been brave warriors through these difficult times. The Zomatos of the world with a piggy bank on their site, you will find that. As we go to the third one on your screens in this round now. It's a statue which is a tribute. Shrika Bish is very quick when he knows the answer. Go ahead, young man. Mic on, please. Yes.
The symbol on the right refers to Wikimedia, sir, and the one on the right is for Wikipedia.
So the overall answer, according to you, is the Wiki Foundation in a sense.
Yes, sir.
And there's a statue as a tribute to Wikipedia. Brilliantly answered. He gets that right and he gets into the lead again. Sri Kabish, every time someone gets closer to him, gets a 50 and moves ahead. And that's a good way to play the game. So he's keeping the pressure on the others, but he's just 50 ahead of Pragun. And we have a final question in this round, after which we'll go to the final round. But here's the next one on your screen now. Thomas Knoll, John Knoll. They initially called it display. How does the world know this today? Designers love this. Sri Kabish again. Yes, go ahead.
Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop.
Very good. Very, very good. Adobe Photoshop will give you another 50 as he now consolidates on that lead and moves to 250. One final frontier remaining. Sri Kabish is leading with 250. Behind him on 150 is Pragun. Suchit on 100. Akash has a long way to go, and even if he gets all right in the final round, he may not be able to catch up with Kabish. But Pragun and Suchit have a very good chance. The final frontier. Multi-experience on screen now. Now today is not about singular experiences. Today, youngsters are being taught tasks like multitasking, learning to handle multiple responsibilities and domains at the same time. It's nothing but a technological interface called multi-experience, or as some pronounce it, multi-experience. So what you got to do is to think carefully and crack the answer in a range of multiple experiences of learning that we showcase to you in this final round. The last 4 questions will determine who goes into the from this quarterfinal into the first semi-final. The first question, hands on the buzzer, 5 seconds, remember, and that is really, really tight on their thinking process. Starting with the first one, now. Identify the famous author and thinker. The Shockwave Riders, science adventure books, fantasy universe, all created by one man. Nobody taking that risk. Tough one in the final frontier. And the time lapses on that one. The answer that I was looking for was the one and only Jean Bronner, or John Bruner, as some people would call it. And we move to the next one with the first one going past them. On your screen, here it comes. Which brand has created the Hero 8 Black and the Hero... Oh, Sri Kabish, if he gets it right, he's really putting pressure on the others. Go ahead.
GoPro.
Well, he certainly played this final as a pro. GoPro will give him a 50. Beautifully played. He's confident. He doesn't put his foot wrong. And he gets the score when he gets on the buzzer. Here's the next one on your screen. 2 more to go. On screen now. It's the 2013 Word of the Year from the Oxford English Dictionary. Today, this Word of the Year is also a classified cause for death. What is this word? Akash is giving it a shot. Yes, Akash.
So selfie?
Is a cause for death? Well, he's absolutely right. People stand in crazy locations of the world, try to take selfies, lose their balance, fall off cliffs, do all sorts of things. Selfie death is a cause for death today in the world, but the word of the year in 2013 was selfie. And nobody would have imagined 10 years ago, but people will take so much of photographs about their own faces. But that's the modern world you live in. Akash trying to claw his way back into what best he can do of this quiz. But if Suchit gets a 50 on the next one, he can try and force a tiebreaker for the second place. Else, Pragun's going to win that. Kabish for sure is going into the semi-final. Final question on your screens now. It was actually a Wrigley chewing gum that was sold at the Marsh supermarkets, which became the first product to display this technology. Today, literally every product in the world carries this on its packaging. What is this that the world started scanning? Sri Kabish is not letting anything happen.
Barcode, sir.
Is what?
The barcode.
The barcode is found on every product. The first one that carried it, the Wrigley chewing gum. With 350, Sri Kabish emerges an undisputed champion from the Karnataka zone of this quiz. So, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of that first quarter-final, there were young talent in Sri Kabish from AECS Magnolia, Bangalore, moving into the semi-final with confidence and clarity. Right behind him was young Pragun. He just needed 1 or 2 more answers and he could have been there as well. But he will learn. He's still in class 10. He's got a long way to go. But what's most important is for all of us to really appreciate the fact that TCS did not allow this quiz to get cancelled. That could have been the easier of the decisions to take, but the spirit was to do what you can and do it in the right way despite the circumstances. And that is the lesson for all of us youngsters watching this quiz. Never allow the environment to consume you. Keep moving forward. We'll be back with the next quarter-final. But till then, from me, Pick Brain, from all of us here at Team TCS IT Wiz, thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.